Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I hope everyone's doing well. I wanted to address something that has sort of arisen from a post that I posted on Facebook. I'm doing certain readings right now for my degree, and one of the patterns that I've come to find in my reading is that, and this is a part of critical analysis. This is a part of what's called a literature review. Is you look for gaps in the academic works. You look for weaknesses in the academic works, and you try to hopefully, fill those holes, or at least point those holes out so that those holes can be filled, if not by yourself, by someone else. So one of the weaknesses that I have found in African-American Muslim scholarship in reference to, again, Muslims, is that there seems to be a lack of duality in proficiency as far as being qualified Islamically, meaning you've studied under ulama, you've studied in some type of Islamic institution, and I guess I'm speaking in reference to traditional understanding of Islamic studies. How has Islam been passed on? What is the sunnah of passing information on from the scholar to the teacher? And it's from mouth to ear. To my understanding, this is the sunnah, to teach from mouth to ear. So most of the, I want to say, the Islamic education that you will find that's upon the Quran and the Sunnah and strong and established, you tend to find overseas. If you look at those that in the African American community that we view as, either scholars or strong students of knowledge, if you look at your Sheikh Tahir Wyatt, even if you look at Sheikh Farouk Post, if you look at Muhammad Mufti Munir, if you look at Ali Davis, Abu Sajid, all the brothers that are involved with the Muslim Family Center, none of them studied strictly, solely in Western universities in America to learn Islam. Every one of them went overseas and studied. So there's that pattern of going to seek knowledge. Seeking knowledge, is it's an endeavor. And for Islamic scholarship, I do believe you have to go overseas. I didn't say you had to go overseas to Arab countries only, but you have to travel for that Islamic, that qualified level of Islamic leadership until we can establish it here. I don't think that it's here now. I think it's fragmented, it's bits and pieces, but 100% strong Islamic institutions that are putting out scholars, that are putting out strong students who develop into scholars is very far and few in between here in America. And I definitely would not go to a secular university to find Islamic scholarship. I'm not going to go to Penn State. I'm not going to go to Ohio State or Michigan or any other school that's a secular school looking to increase my Islamic knowledge. I'm not saying that you can't go learn some things, but if I want to learn Islam, the Arabic language and all, I'm going to where it's established. And I'm looking for those who are upon the Quran and the Sunnah. So with that being said, the gap and the weakness that I have found in the African-American Muslim academic realm has been that gap between a person being proficient and being degreed in a specific field, secular field, and coupling it with that Islamic equivalent as far as level of study. It's oftentimes it's either or. So someone asked on the post, well, that's very hard to find, and is that the issue or the situation with other demographics around the world? Do they have both the secular, high level of secular education as well as the high level of Islamic education? And my answer to that is the African-American history and the African-American experience is different. Our needs are different. What we need is different than what the Southeast Asian needs. Our needs are different than what the Arab or the African may need. One of the problems that we have that other demographics don't have is we don't have that cultural connection to a landmass that extends past the shores of America. You ask the average African American, where are you from, lineage wise in Africa? Most of us don't know. We don't have that cultural connection. Because we don't have that cultural connection, we have other issues with culture. We have other issues with identity and being self-defining and things like this. So we have a whole plethora of other issues that play, or other variables that play into what we need. What we need is the perfect storm. And what I mean by the perfect storm is we need somebody who has that secular expertise, that secular training, and that Islamic training. That would be the perfect storm. When we talk about delving into, looking into, and trying to clarify and fix some of the specific pathologies that plague the African American community. We need experts in the field. So we need applicable Islam. We need people who are secularly experts or secular experts in whatever the field of study may be, but we need to have it filtered through that Islamic lens. That Islamic lens will then give us the application. Oftentimes it seems like like the other brother said, it's either or. And I think that's problematic. We need to find a balance between those who know the nuances and the complexities and the ins and outs of the fiqh of issues. How do we Islamically navigate these issues with that secular expertise to be able to know what to do here in the West? I hope that makes sense. I hope that's clear. But again, that's the perfect storm. That's the perfect situation that we can have people here who are educated secularly to a high level, as well as educated traditionally Islamic. I personally would not go, and I think I just said it before, but I'm going to reiterate it. I personally am not going to a Western university looking for Islamic knowledge. That's just me. Other individuals may think that's fine. I can't roll with that because I understand the enemies of Islam. I understand the quality and level. I understand the different groups and sects and things here. I understand that strict adherence to the Quran and the Sunnah is not really a thing, especially in Western academia. Western academia has never been a friend of the Muslim. It's never been a friend of the African American. And I just think that's just the reality. Again, when you look at the academic aspect of this, the literature review that I had to do a a 10-page literature review for a few chapters of my dissertation. And one of the gaps that I found is there's not a whole lot of African-American Muslim scholarship. The scholarship that I did find, a lot of it was either promoting the Nation of Islam, or it was promoting certain sects that we consider, those people who are upon the Quran and the Sunnah may consider to be from Ahlul Bid'ah, or the people of innovation. And then you also find those people who are solely Islamically educated in the West. So I find that to be problematic. I found that to be one of the major weaknesses of the academic research that I have found. So I hope that makes sense. We need more students who are degreed in whatever field happen, it doesn't have to be, one specific thing, but anything that they are degreed in. But we also need that Islamic expertise, that Islamic study, that knowledge of application based on time and era and location and where we are. We need that. And the African-American situation is unique and different from other demographics and other groups. We have special issues that need to be addressed. And, as Muslims, we understand that and take Islam as 100% the haqq and 100% the remedy and medicine to all of the ills of humanity. My scholarship is geared and aimed toward African-American Muslims. The theories and models that I use, that I sort of use in specific to African Americans, it has cross application. It's not just only applicable to Muslims, but if read and understood properly and correctly, can be used for any demographic and can be used for the Muslim in general. I do believe that oftentimes the African-American Muslim, if any of you have ever read W.E.B. Du Bois and you know about the double consciousness, I believe that the African-American Muslim operates under a triple consciousness. And I've said that before. If you've never read W.E.B. Du Bois and the double consciousness, I would encourage you to read it. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully this explains what I meant in my post. So I'm going to take this video, I'm going to post it where it needs to be posted. I think oftentimes text messages and email messages and written posts get lost in translation. People read it and may not really understand what you meant. So I am more of a speaker than I am a writer, which, can be kind of crazy at times. But inshallah, hopefully that's clear. If you have any questions, concerns, you disagree, you agree, please feel free to, comment below. I'm going to post this video on my TikTok, on my Instagram, and on my Facebook, and on my YouTube channel. So wherever you happen to find it, please comment. Do you agree or do you disagree with what I'm saying? Feel free to pass the video on, because I look at the comments in the videos and that helps me with different perspectives. That helps me with sometimes looking at things from a different angle, or maybe researching from a different angle, looking at different authors, looking at different researchers, sometimes looking in different fields of study, different industries, so to speak. So I benefit greatly from the feedback, whether you agree or disagree, like it, don't like it, whatever the case may be. So like, subscribe, pass this on, and please give me some feedback and let me know what your thoughts are on this. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.